It is not easy to cross Granville Road to get to our local hospital, Finchley Memorial. The road is used as a cut-through from Ballards Lane to Finchley High Road, and hundreds of cars pass down it every day. Not only that, but there are cars parked on both sides of the road, and there is an S-bend in the road just before the hospital, which means you can't see what's coming. There are no traffic lights or adequate pedestrian crossings, and it is difficult to know when it is safe to cross. Finchley Memorial Hospital was originally built in 1922 and rebuilt as a modern development in 2013. It is now a bright modern hospital set in its own grounds with a large car park. However, if you don't drive or you do have a disability, it is almost impossible to get there by public transport or by foot. From Ballards Lane it is a walk of over half a mile. If you are disabled or have an injury, that journey takes even longer.
That third crossing is the worst because there's no traffic control and the cars go at quite a high speed.
I would say it's almost impossible because if you can't see, you don't know when to cross the road. I mean, it's really downright dangerous. You're putting your life at risk.
This road does not have a zebra crossing, a pelican crossing, or any other type of controlled traffic crossing that would enable a pedestrian to cross the road safely.
It is never safe to cross Granville Road at the traffic lights because of traffic constantly entering the road, so I cross further up using a parked car as a stalking horse and looking both ways until I think it's safe.
Even if you can get to the entrance, the hospital is so set back that there is another 250 yards to walk until you get to the main building.
And then once you cross over, you have to find a lane which you have to go down to get to the entrance of the hospital. The main entrance is not safe. There are too many cars and vans getting in there.
If you approach the hospital from Finchley High Road, the situation is little better. Where Granville Road joins the High Road, there is a set of lights. However, these lights are not pedestrian controlled and there is no indication of when it is safe to cross.
First of all, crossing the High Road at the traffic lights with Granville Road, it's safe, but there is no green man to indicate when it's safe to cross, so I have to work it out for myself.
There is no button to feel underneath. There is no safe crossing sequence. And the cars are whizzing past you at 30 miles an hour. I know they shouldn't be doing that speed, but they must be. And it's terrifying.
Finchley High Road is a major exit point from the North Circular Road, and crossing at the wrong time can be extremely dangerous. The lack of a direct bus service is unique to Finchley Memorial Hospital. In other local hospitals like Edgware, Barnet and Chase Farm, they all have direct bus services which stop nearby the hospital or have a dedicated bus stop within the grounds. At Finchley Memorial Hospital, the situation is markedly different. There are no bus stops within the grounds or nearby, and the nearest bus stop is over 600 yards away, a long walk for someone with a disability.
And then of course I have to catch the bus. That's difficult. I have to get some help from the public. And then at the other end of the bus ride, it's very quiet, so it's not easy to get someone to help there.
For the 382 bus, there are 2 bus stops, and both of them are about 400 metres, that's about a quarter of a mile, from the front door of the hospital. Imagine people trying to get there from the bus stops to the hospital in winter with driving rain in their faces, or with snow, or with iced up puddles. It's horrendous. It's inhumane.
For people journeying from a long distance by train, the journey to the hospital is even more convoluted. The nearest station to the hospital is Finchley Central, which is just over a mile away. Normally the journey from the station to the hospital would take about 15 minutes by foot, but for a disabled person this would take even longer. Let's see how easy it is for a blind person to get to the hospital. We begin at Finchley Central Underground Station. Then we have to cross Ballard's Lane to get a bus going northwards. After a short journey, we have arrived at the bus stop opposite Granville Road. We now have to cross the road. Fortunately, there is a pedestrian crossing about 50 yards from the stop. And now, a 10-minute walk down Granville Road to the hospital entrance. Finally, to get to the entrance we have to cross the road. No crossing here. The final 5 minutes walk takes you to the main building. In all, it has taken over 30 minutes to get from the station to the hospital. Imagine doing this if walking was difficult for you or it was windy, raining or snowing. There are a number of ways the situations for pedestrians accessing the hospital could be improved, such as a bus service that takes patients directly to the hospital and controlled traffic crossings on the nearby roads.
Transport links are needed to Finchley Memorial Hospital for the simple reason is that it's not near any underground or overground station and the only links are by bus.
It would be good to have a bus service, say from North Finchley down to the hospital itself, which also save the long walk from the road to the hospital.
Yes, definitely, yes. A bus service which would take you almost right up to the door.
Many people don't have a car and so they are reliant on public transport.
The 382 bus service, which passes nearby, could easily be diverted from Finchley High Road to loop around the hospital. And, for pedestrians travelling down Granville Road, a pedestrian crossing near the hospital will easily be within Barnet Council's budget.
Improving the traffic lights at the high road would be an important step in providing a green man for each road to indicate to pedestrians when it's safe to cross.
We really need a proper crossing on Granville Road and perhaps some help from at the other end from the hospital.
And thirdly, there should be traffic islands on all 4 of the roads. Those are your 3 principles, and for Finchley Memorial Hospital this is very important. You have sick people that want to get to the hospital.
The solutions will not cost millions, but they can really only be tackled by Barnet Council and Transport for London. This is not a new idea. Mike Freer, our local MP, has several times tried to get the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, to divert a bus service to the hospital. He has only got a reply after several years that Transport for London are still considering the matter.
Well, it's a bit of a complex issue because Barnet Council points a finger at Transport for London and says they should pay, they should sort the problem out. And no doubt TfL does the reverse and says, well, there's a lot there that Barnet Council can do. Well, the two should really meet, get together and solve the problem, and really the problems are not difficult at all. You know, moving bus stops or putting in traffic islands or pedestrian controlled traffic lights are not a huge insurmountable problem.
This film has been sponsored by Barnet Borough Sight Impaired because they see the importance of having a safe solution for their sight impaired members who frequently need to use the hospital. BBSI have launched a campaign to make it easier and safer for pedestrians to access Finchley Memorial Hospital. We are asking for these specific objectives: a pelican crossing across Granville Road near the hospital, pedestrian-controlled lights at the junction of Granville Road and Finchley High Road. We are also looking for improvements to local public transport services, such as diverting nearby bus services to loop around the hospital, and bus stops on Finchley High Road moved closer to the hospital entrance. For far too long, it has been difficult for disabled and elderly pedestrians to access the hospital. And, with the hospital expanding its facilities in the near future, it is vital now that services should be improved to make it easier and safer for people who regularly access the hospital.